Alright, what's up guys? Today we're gonna go ahead and start on that Hyte build. Probably just gonna do the motherboard assembly right now. Like it's really there's plenty of how-to videos on the World Wide Web that are much more qualified to give you all a better tutorial. So this is not by any means a tutorial style video. This is just me prepping the motherboard for the Hyte y60 build we're gonna do. That we're gonna basically put a monitor in the Hyte y60, kind of making it like a y70, except this monitor is not gonna be touchscreen. So we got our 32 gigs of RAM, 4 sticks. This is a rather high-end build. I do mostly budget builds on the channel, and for my little side hustle, selling them. They just sell better in my area. This is actually, may not mean much to you guys, but man, I do a lot of budget builds, so this is like a really high-end motherboard compared to what I usually use. So this is kind of a privilege to be able to use something this nice. It does have Wi-Fi included. Came with a bunch of really nice stickers. It's Asus Tough B550 plus Wi-Fi. I don't know if y'all can even see that. Windows 11 ready. Go ahead and get this IO shield out before I forget. IO shield. You got the manual, still including a paper manual. I don't know if that's the case on any of the newer motherboards, but this motherboard is actually brand new, by the way. I got it in a bundle deal. I mentioned in the last video, if I had to break it down, I would say it's probably got like 50 bucks in it. It was actually a really good deal. Matter of fact, I met the guy while meeting up for another deal. I was buying a Ryzen 5 3600 CPU for 50 bucks from a guy, and had him meet me at the store I work at, which is a nice little hack, by the way. I may have mentioned that before, but I get people to meet me at my work. That way I don't put out any gas money. Like if I decide to back out of the deal, something feels off about it, I'm not out any gas or time. And, you know, I'm on the clock while I'm doing it, so, you know, I just turn around and go back to work, no big deal, nothing lost. Matter of fact, I'm even getting paid for it. But I also am my own boss. I'm the head butcher there, so, you know, I know not everybody has the ability to do that. Not everybody works in a public setting like that where they can get away with that, but if you can, it's a hell of a lot better than driving to wherever and wasting your gas just to not go through with the deal. There go wasting time, gas, and money. And anyway, yeah, I met the guy. I was meeting up to buy that CPU, and the guy was doing like a double deal. He had another guy meeting him to trade. They were trading kits of RAM. I think one of them wanted a white kit. They were trading like a white kit of RAM for a black kit of RAM or something along those lines. That was their deal, you know. But we all, you know, kind of met up at the same time and just got to talking about computers as computer nerds do. And, you know, I told him that I do flips, and the other guy that he was meeting was like, man, I actually have a bunch of stuff that I need to get rid of. And, you know, offered me a bundle deal that included this motherboard, plus another motherboard. It was a MSI Carbon gaming motherboard, that both of which were brand new. Like this was part of a bundle he got at Micro Center. That's why it was free. He never even used either motherboard. Man, this guy is fucking on here. It's not wanting to come off. But yeah, I got this motherboard. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. I got this motherboard, an MSI Carbon motherboard, also including Wi-Fi. And this one has the Wi-Fi antenna, but the other one did not. He had misplaced it or took it out and used it or something. I don't really remember what his story was, but he was so nice as to even include the Wi-Fi later on. Like he ordered some Wi-Fi antennas off of Amazon or something and brought them to me, which I told him he didn't have to do, but he's like, no, I told you I was trading you or selling you a motherboard with Wi-Fi, so he honored his word on that, which was pretty cool because I had already gotten a sweet deal. I ended up getting a Corsair Carbide, I believe it was. It was a white Corsair case, which I've already built in and sold, as well as the MSI Carbon motherboard. And a Ryzen 5 2600, which I also, actually that motherboard, the Carbon MSI motherboard, the Ryzen 5 2600, and the white Corsair case, I've already built and sold. I ended up selling it for $475. I'm kind of all over the place with this. Probably pretty hard to follow this story, but I got all of the bundle for $200, and I ended up getting two cases. I also got the second case was another white case. It's the Lian Li Landcool 2, which is a heavy fucking case. I haven't built in it yet, but man, with nothing in it, that case probably weighs 60 pounds. It's the one that has like the 4 doors on it. The bottom, front, and back of the case opens, as well as, you know, your normal panels. It's a pretty cool case. We'll be doing a future build in it soon too, because it's, matter of fact, the last case I have after the Hyte y60. That's the only case I have left. Really need to start buying some more parts before all these tariffs hit, because the only other case I have besides that is my personal case, which is the NZXT H9 Elite. But also got this kit of rip jaws, which is the 3200 kit. The second kit I got for 15 bucks off Facebook Marketplace. It's 3600. So I talked about this in the last video. Pretty sure it'll work fine. I've never had to do it. It's kind of janky, but when we overclock it, we'll probably have to set the speed to the lower of the two kits, and it should work fine and be compatible in that way. I guess we'll find out soon enough, but I'm going with the Ryzen 7 5700X for this build. And probably should have put this anti-static still under here. Get that out of my way for one. But yeah, again, this is a really nice motherboard. I mean, I'm so used to using these little budget motherboards that don't have any, shields for the M.2s, if they even have M.2 support. I mean, this is just a really nice motherboard. I'm not used to it. It's fancy dancy. I'm used to using the lower end stuff that doesn't have the man, I am just like rambling today. I can't find my words. Too much caffeine. Waited till too late in the day, and I've had like a pot of coffee. All right, brand new Ryzen 7 5700X. I got this during Black Friday or Amazon Prime Day. I don't remember, but I paid 120 bucks for it. Ryzen 7 5700X. And drop that bad boy in here ever so gently, like so. A little wiggle, make sure we're in good, and we are. I actually did another video, the only other one where I've done a motherboard prep. And man, I was so nervous. It was my first time building on camera. I sat here and jacked with the CPU for like 5 minutes, just like having it in every wrong orientation I possibly could. I was just nervous, I think, just being stupid. But as you see, that one dropped right in, no problems. Got the nice little Ryzen 7 sticker. Not used to having that either, because I usually buy my stuff used. Use a lot of Ryzen 5 3600s just because it's a good, cheap, go-to CPU that still performs well. All right. And just these open. These are fixed. I guess we should, guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm thinking putting the 3200s in the same slot. And that is not the right way. But yeah, I guess I should have the 3200. Probably doesn't matter, but I'm going to put the 3200 kit in the same channel. Nice click. You heard that go in. Very good. And RAM stick number 2. This is actually, I've built a dozen computers probably, and this is probably the first time, not probably, this is the first time I've ever occupied all 4 slots with RAM. A lot of firsts in this build. But you know, it's 2025, and like I said before in another video, 32 gigs is what we're going to go with on everything from here on out. That's just kind of the new meta. Honestly, I still don't think it matters that much on DDR4 as much as DDR5, but DDR5, it's like probably pretty hard to even find a 16 gig kit of DDR5. Most of them start off at 32 gigs because, again, that is kind of the new standard. All right, we got 4 sticks of RAM, a CPU. Next, we got the I'll take the heat sink off of here. Again, man, I'm just, I know I keep mentioning it, it's kind of dumb, but I'm not used to having heat sinks on the motherboard either, because I'm used to these lower end deals. I'm probably going to leave the heat sink or little thermal shield off for now, because these are the SSDs that I bought like 6 of from this one sketchy guy on Facebook Marketplace, and I just don't know if the build I did for the giveaway for Christmas, I actually used this exact heat sink. I'm sorry, M.2, and it was not showing up for some reason. So I'm hoping I didn't get scammed and I can get this to work. But just in case it doesn't show up, that's all that was happening on it. It's like there's a little red light on the heatsink, and that motherboard that I was building in didn't have a heatsink, so I had left this on. The red light was flashing. I know I was getting connection and installed it correctly, but whenever I went to install Windows, I could not get this M.2 to show up at all. So really hoping I didn't get scammed, because I bought 6 of these from that guy. Not all on one occasion either. Like a dummy, I bought them 2 at a time. and just kept going back. And the guy kept producing 2 more. They were always 2 terabyte. They were always the Samsung 990 Pros, which the manufacturing year is 2024. So they were all new. And I know they had problems with these SSDs deteriorating quicker than they were supposed to be a while back, and Samsung has since fixed that, and it was before the manufacturing date on those should have been like 2021, 2022, something like that, I believe. But these do not
Unactivated
fall
copy of
under
Windows.
that
So that's where our
time.
sponsor can help you out.
Wow, I don't know what that was about. But yeah, these shouldn't fall under that time frame. These should be good, but for whatever reason, like I said, they did not show up when I tried to use the one. And I need a standoff. Don't recall seeing one in the box. I'm not even sure what this is. You comment down below if you know what that is. It's like 2 little adhesive pad things. I've never gotten that in a motherboard. It's not a M.2 standoff, so that's the only thing I'm concerned and looking for at the moment. This is our Wi-Fi antenna. SATA cable. And nothing else in here. Here we go, right here. Beautiful. All right. Let's get this back out of there. And we are gonna be right there. All right. Good magnetic screwdriver is very helpful with these tiny M.2 screws. Good old Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. This really is a very high quality screwdriver. Like, comes with all the bits you need. Really good magnetic tip. Like, man, it's not a gimmick. It's not a fanboy thing. This really is a very high quality screwdriver. I'm actually going to do a video, I think, on screwdrivers pretty soon because, man, I don't know, before I started building PCs, a screwdriver was just a screwdriver, but the more I got into PC building and flipping, like, the more I am just infatuated with a good screwdriver. Wow Stick, another great one, electric screwdriver. Actually, one of my first videos I did on the channel was an unboxing and review of the Wow Stick. And I spoke very highly of it, and since then, they've come out with 20 different Wow Stick or electric screwdrivers in different brands. Fantix, I think, is the brand. They make one that's like really nice, and honestly, I need to go back and do a follow-up review because I still like this thing, but I can't stress enough the orientation of which they chose to do their bits is just terrible in my opinion. I think they could have done way better, which Fantix did do a great job on. It comes with a nice little, kind of like this. Like this is a $12 Walmart kit, and they executed the drill bits perfectly. I mean, it's on a fixed little swivel, swivels out, grab what you need, put it back up. You can see everything right there. $12.99, I think it was at Walmart. Did a way better job than the $50 Wow Stick did. They give you this crap, which they put all your bits and half this stuff doesn't come in here. This is where I keep my thumb drives for my Windows installation. They come in these tubes that you have to like pull out, and it's just not ideal. I hate the way they did that. This thing is loose. It doesn't actually latch or anything, so it's just sits on top of there. But this is what they send the Wow Stick with. I think they could have done a far better job on that, especially for a $50 screwdriver. Believe it or not, I'm kind of tight. There go the budget builds. That's one of the things I always ask my wife for like a birthday or anniversary, or anytime she has to give me a gift. That's how I've actually acquired both the screwdrivers. I did not spend my own money on them. That's a lot of money for a screwdriver, but that's also not that much money for a gift. She doesn't make near as much money as I do, and I try to keep my gift ideas very low for her, and just easy, where I can send her a link like, hey, buy me this screwdriver, here's the link, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that's how I acquired both the Wow Stick and the LTT screwdriver. And I actually was gonna ask for the stubby for my birthday, the LTT stubby screwdriver, but she's like, no, I'm not buying you any more screwdrivers. She doesn't quite understand the infatuation with a good screwdriver like I do. But anyway, we got the M.2 SSD installed. This is a 2 terabyte. We got our 32 gigs of RAM. We got the CPU. Now we need to put our AIO on so I can test it. I might actually use a stock cooler or something just to test everything before I install it in the case. Just because I want to see if that M.2 shows up before I go any further. But we're putting this AIO on there. I don't know if that's really in frame good, but it's Frozen Infinity 360 Black. Thermalright's the way to go if you're doing budget builds. I actually have the Aqua Elite 360 that's in white for $50. I've been using that AIO for a while, like before all the major tech tubers found it and started promoting it. I kind of hate it when that happens because then it's probably gonna, especially now with the tariffs, it's definitely gonna go up in price. But this one only cost me $60. Comes with some nice infinity fans. I don't actually have any more of those infinity fans. I talked about that last week. We're just going to make do with what we got and hope those Sama or Sama, however you pronounce it, hope those fans match well enough. But probably not going to go any further than this on camera. I will make a follow-up video once I get the entire build done, going over everything and how the build experience was, and maybe do a video on the monitor installation of it, because that part's going to be a little tricky to hide those wires, because the monitor is going to have two different wires you're going to have to run through the case into the back, because it plugs in just like a normal monitor. It comes with like a mini HDMI to HDMI. And it's powered by Molex, actually, I think. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll do a follow-up video on that, keep you guys updated. But I think that's going to be it for right now. Peace. Sorry about all the rambling. This was a very all over the place video, which, I mean, that's what you should come to expect from me at this point. Peace.